What if I was to tell you that our success as tennis players isn't down to how well we hit our forehands or backhands? It's not even about how well we serve or return. What separates the ordinary from the extraordinary is a mental toughness. Do you believe me?
Everyone knows how to play tennis. I think the thing that separates the best from the rest is just the mindset.
Let me give you a little context. I was listening to a podcast recently about succeeding in business, and the podcast guest suggested watching a speech by a businessman called Art Williams. So after watching the speech, titled Just Do It, I was unbelievably inspired and found that I could relate many of his points about succeeding in the business world to succeeding in the tennis world. His whole concept was that the only thing that separates winners from the losers is a mental toughness.
By far the most important thing you've got to have to win in business in these United States today is a very unique kind of mental toughness. I believe the difference in winning and losing in the free enterprise system is so small, it's almost too scary to talk about. You can do 99% of the things right in business, and yet if you don't possess what I call that winning edge, that mental toughness, folks, it's impossible to win.
I'm incredibly excited to have teamed up with Johan of The Tennis Dream to be able to create this video. Johan is currently playing college tennis for Queen's University of Charlotte in the States. He's an amazing content creator who's incredibly passionate about tennis and learning about the game. And since this video is also going on the Tennis Dream channel, my name's Evan Hoyt. I'm a British tennis player, and to date my best result is reaching the mixed doubles quarterfinals at Wimbledon in 2019.
Thank you for that brilliant introduction, Evan. For those of you who don't know me, I am Johan Rusinov. I'm a college tennis player and I run the Tennis Dream account. I do tennis practice videos, hitting with my college teammates, vlogs to different schools, and competing with my team. So if you're new to the channel and you're coming from Evan's channel, make sure to check out my previous videos.
So without further ado, let's get into Art Williams' 4 mental toughness qualities needed to succeed.
Number one, you got to get excited. Folks, I don't believe anybody will ever tell you anything more important than this in winning in these United States. 90+% of winning in anything you try to do in America today, you got to be excited. But almost everybody in America can stay excited for 2 or 3 months. A few people can stay excited for 2 or 3 years. But a winner will stay excited for 30 years or ever how long it takes to win.
Okay, so the first thing that Art Williams talks about is getting excited, and me and Evan discussed what this could mean in tennis, and we came up with the idea of being passionate. You know, in the beginning of every tennis player's journey, the passion, the intrigue, the excitement is always there. And as people follow their journey into tennis, sometimes that passion and the excitement fades away. And in most cases, that happens. It happened to me as well. And without this passion, it's so difficult to improve because the desire is not there. You don't want to improve your forehands and backhands every day. You don't want to stick to your diet. You don't want to compete because you're not playing for enjoyment. So we also talked about how some players on the ATP Tour, on the Challenger Tour, on the Future Tour, a lot of them play for money because, as we all know, in tennis, people who are lower ranked are struggling to make a career out of it. And if you're playing for money, then it's very difficult for you to improve and compete at your best because you always have that pressure for playing for money. Or if you're playing for an external factor, if you're playing for someone, if you're playing to prove yourself, it's going to be very difficult to improve and develop your game and actually do well in tennis. Whereas if you're playing because you're passionate about the game, you're playing because you enjoy it, you're going to play much more free, you're going to play your game style, and you're going to want to improve. You're going to want to do all the small things that so many players don't do, like stretching and getting on the court day in, day out, and eating the correct stuff. You do all of these stuff because you're passionate for the game. So a big one is getting excited, being passionate, and that's the first mental aspect that me and Evan are going to talk about.
See, folks, I want you to know almost everybody in America almost does enough to win. They almost get there. They almost are over the hump. They almost have it going. They almost, in everything they do, almost is a way of life to almost everybody in America. But the winners do it. What do? They do whatever it takes to get the job done. They do it and do it and do it and do it and do it until the job gets done. And then they talk about how great it is to be somebody they're proud of.
I think just doing it is everyone's biggest problem when it comes to a success. And really, it's all to do with the mind. We all know what needs to be done to succeed. We all know that we need to put in the work on the court, we need to learn about the tactical side, we need to get in the gym and do the mental training. We know what we need to do, but how many of us actually tick every single box? How many of us actually spend our time on tennis TV watching matches, or spending 15 minutes foam rolling every evening, or 30 minutes of mobility work each morning? We all know that we should do this stuff, but how many of us actually do it? For example, years ago when I was 18 or 19, I was doing great. I was taking care of all the on-court stuff, the mental stuff, the tactical stuff, but I probably wasn't spending enough time doing the injury prevention work and the recovery work. Even though I knew this was important for all athletes, I'd often make excuses as why to not do it, or I'd skip over it thinking that it wasn't a big deal. And lo and behold, after doing well in a few tournaments, I go and pick up a shoulder injury and I was out for 18 months. Maybe if I'd have acted and not overlooked the shoulder IP in recovery, then who knows, maybe I wouldn't have had these injuries and setbacks. So what I think art is trying to say is that knowledge is cheap in today's society. What really matters is taking action, and that's what separates the winners from the losers. The winners are just able to take action every single day. It's taking care of the little things. That's what the best players do better than anyone else. For me, the easiest way to just do these things is to create habits. You see, if you can create a habit of doing your IP and recovery work each day, then you won't have to rely on willpower and motivation to get these things done. It'll just be automatic. Whether it's fitness, foam rolling, serving out of the basket, or getting your mental work done each morning, if you can create a habit, it'll become automatic. How do you make a habit? Make time for it each day and consistently do it. They say it takes 21 days to make a habit, so the easiest way is to create a 21-day scoreboard for yourself.
Another key in building this winning edge is, folks, you got to stand for something. People in America, the good people in America, are fed up with these dadgum fence sitters and mealy mouths. Folks, if you want to win in the free enterprise system in America today, you got to stand for something.
Okay, so the third thing that Art Williams talked about was standing for something. Standing for something could mean setting goals. And without goals in tennis, there is no direction, you don't know where you're headed, and setting goals can give you motivation. Having goals also gives us a clear picture and a realistic image of where we are right now and where we want to be. Setting goals and standing for something also allows us to access our best game. If you set your goal to improve your backhand because right now a lot of people are exposing it in matches, then further down the line you're going to be playing better tennis and you're going to allow yourself to play your best game. Stand for your game. You have to believe in your game. If you have a big serve and a big forehand and you know that that is your advantage and that's how you win matches, then believe in it. Stand for it. Keep trying. Keep accessing that game. Because if you lose a few matches and then in a week's time you try and emulate someone else's game like a grinder, and you know that's not what allows you to play your best tennis, then you should stand behind your game and also stand for your goals. Don't change them. If you have a clear picture of your goal and you know that that is where you want to be, don't change it. Work towards it until you achieve it. If you change it, you're constantly going to be changing your goals and you're constantly not going to be arriving at your destination. So stand for something. That's number 3. That's a very important one.
See, folks, I believe in order to win, you got to feel good about yourself. And I had a rule on my football team that if any kid said I can't, if any football player heard one of my football players said I can't, he got to bring him in the coach's office and give him 3 licks. And it took me about a month to get all that thinking out of my players. Folks, there ain't nothing you can't do in America if you want to bad enough.
Leading on from Johan's point that you need to have goals to give yourself direction, you also need to have the belief that you can achieve these goals. Now, belief is very different to confidence. Confidence is very short term and it can fluctuate week to week or even day to day. And confidence is very based on whether you're winning matches or how you're feeling on the court or how you're practicing. Whereas belief is more of a long-term vision. It's more of an overarching vision of whether you can believe you can achieve your goals or not. And I think belief is so important for our tennis, because if we don't believe, then we're so unlikely to achieve our goals. Beliefs are such a powerful thing. Take the placebo effect, for example. One person can take a painkiller and the other person can take a sugar pill, and they both get the exact same effect because of the power of belief. Because that person believes they're taking a painkiller, their body automatically provides that outcome. And it's the exact same with tennis. That's why belief is such a powerful thing. If you truly believe in your goals and that you're going to achieve, then you're so much more likely that you will. And that's why we decided to have it as Art Williams' final point regarding mental toughness.
So that's going to be the end of the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you're a rising junior tennis player who's watching the video, or an intermediate adult who is just wanting to play tennis for fun, or a parent of a child who is competing in tennis, I hope it's given you a little bit more perspective on the most significant aspect of becoming a tennis player, and that is the mental toughness. So many players can hit forehands and backhands, so many players are taught the tactics of the game from an early age and the fitness, but the mental toughness is something that so many people lack. So if you enjoyed the video, make sure to give it a like, comment and subscribe to our channels. If you want to see more videos like this which go in detail and in depth about serious tennis topics, then make sure to share the video with your friends and share the video on Facebook and social media so that it can get as much reach as possible and so we can spread awareness of this topic. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.